So in the last couple of years, we have seen a lot of reboots come and go, and they range from kind of okay to not that great. But one reboot I've heard amazing things about is the 2017 DuckTales Reboot. Now, I'm not an older guy, so I didn't grow up with the original DuckTales, and I don't really know anything about it besides one thing. Scrooge McDuck is like the richest dude ever. Sorry, richest duck ever. And I do have a very vague memory of watching a DuckTales movie when I was a kid, but I don't remember anything about it. So obviously, I had to watch the new show for myself to see if it was actually good, or if people, as usual, were overhyping something. And this show is not that bad. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it has Doctor Who and Sonic in it, so it's kind of fated to be good. And yes, I know the Sonic movies came out way after the show premiered, so logically Sonic sounds like Dewey Duck. I mean, he's even wearing blue the whole time, like, come on. Someone at Disney could see the future and cast him as Dewey just to mess with us, right? I'm not crazy, you're crazy, but moving on. As of making this video, I've only watched the first season, and I did really enjoy it. I do plan to watch the rest very soon, but I am getting ready to move across the world in like a month. So you could say I'm getting ready for a DuckTale of my own. Even though I'm not a duck. Anyway, the setup for the show is pretty simple. It basically shows us that Scrooge used to be a famous adventurer going across the world collecting treasure and just being an overall cool guy. But when the show starts, he has not done any adventuring in a long time, and he's kinda cranky. But then Huey, Dewey, and Louie show up at his mansion because Donald needs a babysitter. So of course, the only logical thing to do is to take these three kids to the richest duck in the world. And while there, they meet a bunch of new characters, like Launchpad McQuack, who can drive, fly, operate any type of vehicle, and normally has some of the most insane things to say. Or Scrooge's butler, Beakley, who for some reason I find very attractive, but I don't want to talk about that. And Beakley's granddaughter, Webby, who befriends the boys. They then go around the house messing with some ancient artifacts, and then Scrooge has to fix everything. And in doing so, reignites his sense of adventure. Pretty basic story up, but I think it works quite well. We also do get some lore hints from the first episode, like how Donald is related to Scrooge and used to work with him until they apparently had a falling out, and they have not spoken in a long time. And we see that the triplets' mom also used to work with Scrooge, but she has not been around for a while. It's also legitimately really funny.
I promise we'll never leave you off the boat again. We'll leave Louie. He's bad at most things.
Almost every episode had at least one moment that made me laugh out loud. Now, as the episodes went on, it did feel quite episodic, but honestly, I didn't mind that, because it was fun seeing the goofy adventures they went on. From climbing a wormhole-ridden mountain to going to the casino and using Donald's bad luck to beat a luck-eating demon who lives there, or just casually competing with Zeus in some friendly games to see who is the coolest duck ever. I really did enjoy all of the episodes because they all had a different flavor of insanity. And even if they were mostly episodic, we did get to see little hints setting up things for the future. Like how Webby's new friend Lena has this ancient artifact with an evil spirit in it that for some reason really wants to get into the mansion. Or the boy's mom getting basically erased from existence because of something called the Spear of Selene, and the whole side plot of Dewey and Webby looking for her. I do have to say that I was honestly shocked with how that subplot ended because it subverted my expectations in a big way. Learning what actually happened, then seeing the end when Scrooge is all alone sitting in that chair and we get to see the flashback, I started feeling sad. Which is weird because this entire show has just been fun and goofy up until that moment. I'm not saying it was bad, I'm just saying I didn't expect it. And I do really like all of the characters. Scrooge is fun when he's on screen, but that's a given, because everything he says is normally crazy or just really funny.
Oh, that never bothered you before.
But strangely enough, I think that Webby might be my favorite character, which is crazy because I didn't even know she existed before watching the show. I just really love how eccentric she is. Seeing her grow as a character is great because she's like a pro at everything thanks to her grandma, except social interactions. And seeing her grow a relationship with the boys and her new friend was just really sweet. I liked it. Smile. And her grandma's hot. What? Who said that? That's crazy. One complaint I do have is that I do think the boys feel very samey a lot of the time. Now don't get me wrong, they do have slight differences in their personality. Huey is a Boy Scout who likes following the rules and always nerds out about the stuff the other kids don't really care about too much. Dewey is a bit of a show-off and is very adventurous. He's kind of a troublemaker that normally gets the gang into a lot of sticky situations. And Louie is a sweet talker who's able to talk his way out of almost anything and is always thinking about money and how to get it easily, because he's also kinda lazy. I feel you, man, I just wanna chill. But besides those slight differences, there were episodes where they really do just feel like the same person, And I guess that could be the point, but I really wish they stood out from one another a little bit more. However, I am thankful that in a lot of episodes they do split them up, because my stupid monkey brain can't tell them apart when all three of them are on screen. Yes, I know they are literally color-coded, but that still does not help me. It does not matter that they are wearing the Alvin and the Chipmunk fits. I am just stupid. Like, tell me who this is. You can't. While on the topic of talking about the ducks, I can't understand Donald. I don't know if there's just something wrong with me, but I can't understand him. I get that Donald has a very distinct voice. It's very raspy and high-pitched. But I feel like I'm going crazy whenever he talks, because at the start, I didn't think he was actually speaking English, because I couldn't understand him. But as the show went on, I would hear a few actual words slip through here and there, and then I realized...
What the f***? You speak English?
Of course I do.
You've spoke English the whole time I've been here.
I thought it was like a gag that every character could understand him, and we just couldn't. Kinda like Chewbacca. But no, I'm just an idiot. I mean, I am the guy who can't point out the differences in 3 color-coded characters, so maybe I'm just at fault here. Something I do want to bring up is that I absolutely adore the art style of this show. It feels like a comic or a graphic novel that came to life, and that's because the art is heavily inspired by the art of Carl Barks, the creator of Scrooge McDuck, the Uncle Scrooge comics, and a lot of the other core characters in the show. He worked for Disney making comics for a really long time, and I think the art style is perfect for this show, and visually sets it apart from a lot of other animated Disney shows. I love that the show's art style is inspired by the original material it is based on. That is honestly so cool. Everything on screen, from the characters to the backgrounds, just looks so clean and crisp. And the comic book art style is done so well that I fully believe you could just take a bunch of screenshots from the show, slap on some speech bubbles, and you would have a comic. And funnily enough, there were some tie-in comics based on the show, and the comics just looked like they were stills taken from the show. That's how well it emulates the comic art style. I just think that the animators did some amazing work, and they just deserve all the praise in the world. And yes, I know I'm glazing, but I just love stylized animation, and this show does it perfectly. Now, I could gush about the art forever, but I won't, because I do want to finish this show sometime in the next century. All in all, I'm very surprised with how much I enjoyed the show, or at least just season 1. The show felt a bit slow in some episodes, but the finale really upped the ante and kinda made even the slow episodes feel like they mattered. And I'm really looking forward to watching the next 2 seasons and seeing where the story goes from here. The finale set up a bunch of interesting loose ends, and I just want to see how they get resolved. And I've also heard that people say the show just gets better as it goes on. But honestly, I'm just glad you guys recommended me to watch this show, because I don't think I ever would have watched it if you guys didn't tell me how good it was. But yeah, thank you guys a lot for introducing me to this wonderful show and sitting through a video of me ranting about how much I like it. Have an amazing rest of your day.